Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at some gear from Nitecore. In this video we're going to be reviewing their 16-liter backpack and their 2-liter sling bag. And like the BP18 from Nitecore that we looked at a little while back, these have a nice tactical vibe. They're very simple bags that are meant to just work well for EDC. And in this video I'm going to be talking about my experience using them over the past couple of weeks. I'll show you how I've loaded them out, and I'll also talk about how they compare to other similar items that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, I want to thank the company for sending the bags for me to test out. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Kicking things off with the 16-liter backpack, or the BP16 as Nitecore calls it. As far as the aesthetic, this is an interesting look because of the webbing that's on the front. It still has a pretty tactical vibe, but it's also a fairly kind of rounded bag. Gives it a little bit more of a turtle shell-like appearance, which, feels okay. It's not normally the aesthetic that I prefer in a bag, but I think it works well for, going into a variety of environments, whether you're taking this into the office, walking around the city, going into the outdoors. And then moving into the exterior, the bag is made out of a 500D polyester that feels like it's gonna hold up pretty well to rougher usage. It's also fairly lightweight, coming in at about 1.8 pounds, and you have some nice YKK zippers all throughout. Continuing along the outside of the bag, on the front you have the Nitecore logo down at the bottom, along with some yellow accenting on the webbing, which we saw on some of their other products. And then at the top you have a little spot for a morale patch. They include the Nitecore morale patch, but you can remove that if that's a little bit too bright, or if you want to replace it with one of your own. Moving back to the webbing on the front, I really like when bags include this, as it just gives you some extra flexibility with what you can attach to the bag. You can attach items using something like a carabiner. This is normally where I'll attach my hero clip. And then you can also configure the bag with a variety of pouches that Nitecore sells, that you can get from other companies, that are going to allow you to just add some extra organization to the bag. Moving into the capacity, the bag comes in at about 16 liters, which is a little bit smaller than what I would normally like to use for an EDC backpack, but I was surprised with how much it was able to hold. Given its smaller footprint, I was able to fit pretty much everything that I normally like to carry with me on my day-to-day. And then I like that even when the bag is packed out, it maintains a really slim silhouette and hugs my back well, making it great for navigating crowded areas and jumping onto public transit. Taking a look at the straps and the back paneling, so far the bag has been pretty comfortable to wear. I like how the straps have been implemented here. They have a decent amount of padding. On the inside they have this meshy material, which is going to help prevent moisture from building up. And then these straps have a nice width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders when it's a little bit more packed out. On the straps you also have some attachment points where you can place something like a bike light, or maybe hang your sunglasses. And then you also have an adjustable sternum strap that's going to help you distribute the weight. As far as the back paneling, this has also been pretty comfortable. I was a little bit disappointed that it doesn't have the same breathable mesh that we saw on the shoulder straps, but there is a decent amount of padding here, and I like that this padding is also elevated to create this air channel to provide you with ventilation while you're walking around throughout the day. And then while we're on the back paneling, the last thing I want to call out here is you also have the addition of this luggage pass-through, which is going to allow you to rest this on a suitcase while traveling to save some weight on your back. Jumping into the organizational options, I was really surprised with the variety of pockets that were added. Given the smaller size of the bag, it actually has more pockets than the BP18, which I thought was interesting, and I really like the layout of these pockets. Starting off at the top, you have just a simple quick access pocket, which has a decent amount of space for anything that you need to grab easily during the day. And I like that this has enough volume to be able to hold some bulkier items. So at the moment, I just have my Apple Magic Mouse in here. And then I also threw in my Ray-Ban sunglasses with their case. Now with the compartment empty, you can see no other internal organization, but I like that this has kind of a soft fleece lining on the inside, which is going to help prevent against scratches for anything more delicate that you store in here. And then on these sides, you have two larger zippered compartments. On the right, you have one that is meant to be more of a water bottle pocket. It actually has this insulated material on the inside to help keep items cold. If you have a water bottle in here, hopefully this will prevent it from warming up as you're walking around throughout the day. It also has a nice gusset here, so even if you don't completely close the compartment, it should hopefully keep whatever you store in here from falling out. And this compartment offers a decent amount of space, but I found that I wasn't able to store the 20-ounce water bottle that I normally use and still take advantage of the main volume of the bag. They do kind of share space a little bit, so you'll have to think a little bit about how you want to organize the items that you pack. I just placed this bottle of juice that I like to drink in here to kind of show you the size, but pretty much any sort of disposable water bottle should be able to fit in here pretty comfortably, or an umbrella. This is about, I think, 17 ounces, so that fit in there pretty comfortably. And if you don't mind losing some of the space on the inside of the bag, you may be able to fit a 20-ounce water bottle as well. And then on the other side of the bag, you have kind of a larger admin type area that has some internal organization, which I'm always a fan of. It would have been nice to maybe have a lining that was a different color so it wasn't all black, so you get better visibility into the bag, but I really like the different kind of organizational options that are provided here. Again, you have this gusset at the bottom, so if you have something just kind of resting here, this will prevent it from falling out. And then in this compartment on the flap, you have a few bits of webbing so that you can attach any sort of multi-tools or items that you might want to carry with you. They're pretty large, so if you have a thicker pocket knife, it should be able to fit in here. I just placed my Fisher Space Pen in there, and then I also have a little flashlight that I like to carry with me. And then in this compartment, you also have this kind of larger mesh area, which is going to be good for just keeping whatever items from just kind of floating around loosely. I like that the mesh allows you to see into the compartment, and in this one I just have a little tin that has some band-aids and ointment. And then the last thing that you have in this compartment is a small lanyard with a plastic clip that's going to be a good spot to attach something like your keys or a multi-tool. And then the last area that we're going to be taking a look at is the main compartment, and I like that this has a clamshell style opening so you can get all the visibility that you need into the main area, so you can easily pack it out and grab what you want when you want it. And so again, 16 liters of space isn't a ton of space, but because of the layout of the bag, it's able to hold more than I would have thought, even some bulkier items. And so diving into what I currently have here, first up at the top, I have my DJI Mavic Mini drone with its hard case. I also tossed in my Matador Nano Dry shower towel. I laid my Air Slim pouch here down at the bottom. And then I also have the remote for my Mavic Mini. And then down at the back, I also rested my Levitate portable standing desk. Now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. Pretty simple layout overall. I love this type of bag where you can just place pouches and other large items into here. On the sides, you do have a little bit of organization. You have some mesh slip pockets that offer a decent amount of space for anything larger that you want to kind of store and not have floating around the bag. I left the one here empty because it shared volume with the water bottle pocket. And then on the other side, I use this to hold my BluePower portable Bluetooth speaker and power bank. And then on the back of the compartment, you have a pretty well padded laptop and tablet sleeve. It has this little Velcro strap to help keep it in place when you open the bag up. The sleeve is a little bit thicker here than it was on the BP18. You also have some soft fleece lining on the back, similar to the one that we saw in the quick access pocket. So that's going to be nice for helping to prevent any sort of scratching on your device. This should be able to hold up to a 15-inch laptop. Currently what I have here is my 13-inch MacBook Pro, but you can see there's a little bit of leftover space at the top. And I like that this compartment is pretty padded at the bottom. It's not quite suspended. It's just pulled up ever so slightly, but the sleeve itself also offers some nice protection. So even if you place your bag down, your device should be pretty well protected. Pulling my device out, now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. You actually have that soft lining on both sides of the compartment, which again is really nice to give it some extra protection against scratches. And then the sleeve comes up a decent amount, so if you happen to have a thicker device, it should be able to fit in here okay. So really like the implementation here. It feels like my device is going to be well protected while I'm running around throughout the day. And then the last thing I want to call out in this compartment is that you have one additional mesh zippered compartment on the flap. I like that this has a zipper to prevent items from falling out when you have it opened completely like I have it here. And so this compartment actually offers a decent amount of volume and space. So if you have some bulkier accessories that you don't want floating around the compartment that maybe don't fit in a pouch, this is going to be a great spot to store them. So currently what I have here is a retractable HDMI cable that I like to have with me. I also tossed in a little manicure set that you've probably seen in a lot of my other videos. And then I also placed a simple deck of playing cards. So really love these simple organizational options provided in this compartment and throughout the bag. I was able to hold most of the items that I normally like to have with me on my day-to-day. And if you're looking for a versatile EDC bag that's going to come in at a little bit of a smaller size, and this is going to be a great option to take a look at. And then moving into the Sling, overall I like the aesthetic of this. It's not as obviously tactical as the backpack in my opinion. The webbing that it has isn't super visible from the exterior of the bag. You know, it just has a pretty simple sling bag appearance. Reminds me of a lot of the other tech and EDC slings that are currently on the market. It's an aesthetic that I think is going to work well for exploring a city, for taking it into the office if you don't have to carry as much with you, for taking it into a variety of environments. And then the materials here are very similar to the backpack. You have a 500D polyester that again feels like it's going to hold up well to rougher usage. And then you have YKK zippers. This one also has an aqua guarded YKK zipper at the top to give you some additional peace of mind if you happen to get caught in some rain, since this is a little bit more exposed. And then as far as the size, this does come in at about 2 liters, and you can fit quite a bit into these 2 liters. This is a bag that can expand out quite a bit to hold some of the items that, you know, definitely won't fit into your pockets, which I really like, but it doesn't get so big that it becomes overwhelming or feel like you're wearing an actual backpack. So I think it manages that balance of capacity and size really nicely. I felt comfortable wearing it, and even when it's a little bit more packed out as I have it, it still felt like it was nimble enough for me to, you know, use for riding around on my bike, again, jumping onto public transit or exploring a crowded city. And then as far as how you carry this, it has a pretty nice strap that allows you to wear this like a sling bag or maybe like a shoulder bag. I thought that it worked better as a sling bag, but I like that this strap is padded. It offers the same breathable material that we saw on the backpack. And I like that this is a pretty long bit of padding, so it gives you some flexibility if you don't place the bag perfectly on your shoulder every time. It's still gonna offer comfort. You also have these flaps on the side that have some padding and mesh, especially as you wear this as a sling bag. This is going to provide some extra protection and comfort. And you have plenty of adjustability on both sides for this strap, so you can actually wear it as a sling bag over either shoulder, and it's going to work out really well. It's comfortable to wear, and then you can swing the bag around and grab items from the front so that you don't have to take it off whenever you need to. And then jumping into the organizational options, the Sling keeps things pretty simple. On the exterior, you have a quick access pocket at the top with that aqua guarded zipper that I mentioned earlier. I like the zipper pulls too to make it very easy to get in and out of the pockets. And on this top flap, it actually offers plenty of space, more than I would have expected. I thought it would be a really slim compartment, but it actually gives you some volume here. So if you have thicker items that you want to grab quickly without unbuckling everything, they should be able to fit in here pretty comfortably. So you can place your cell phone, maybe your sunglasses. In my case, I actually placed my GoPro camera, and then I also have this lightning cable and power brick to charge my tablet and my phone. Besides that, no other internal organization, but again, just really love the amount of space that this offers. And then on the back of the sling bag, you have another zippered compartment, again with the aqua guarded zipper to give you some protection against the elements. This is a little bit of a slimmer compartment. I think of this kind of as the security pocket, a good spot to place maybe your wallet, some cash, your passport if you're traveling. I like that this pocket rests against your back or your stomach depending on how you're wearing this, so it's gonna make it a little bit harder for anybody to get to, or pickpockets if you're walking around a city you don't know. And this is an area where I wouldn't place anything super bulky because it might start to create some bulges and make it uncomfortable to wear, but for something flatter, again, like a wallet, some cash, or a phone, I think it should work out just fine. And then the flap of the bag to get into the main compartment is secured with these 2 adjustable buckles, which isn't the quickest method to get into the main compartment when you want to. It's not going to be as fast as something like Velcro or magnets, but I like that this feels more secure, and it also gives you some flexibility because they're adjustable. If the sling bag is a little bit more packed out, you can give yourself some extra space. You might also be able to place a jacket or something through these straps if you want to hold it instead of wearing it. And then you can tighten the sling bag down when it's not as full if you want to just give it a little bit of a slimmer profile. So I like the versatility added by these, opening the buckles up. Before jumping into the main compartment, here you have a Velcro area where you can attach something like morale patches. And then this is also webbing, which is going to be great for attaching either some lights or, again, accessories with something like a carabiner. It should be able to get in here, you know, if you want to clip a pen or maybe a flashlight or a pocket knife or something to get to it a little bit more quickly. So you have a lot of webbing here that you can use to customize the bag. And then diving into the main compartment, you just have this zipper that goes around, so keeps the compartment a little bit more protected. I like that, so that, you know, even if the flap isn't super secured, it's still going to prevent water from getting in, although I do wish this maybe had the aqua guard as well, but with the flap should be well protected. And then on the inside, you have just a large kind of bucket of space for anything that you want to carry with you. I've just kind of thrown in some of the larger items that I wouldn't carry in my pocket. So here at the top, I have this little ghost whale pouch from Tom Bin that has some of my just smaller tech items that I always like to have with me. And then next up, I tossed in my 20-ounce water bottle that you've seen in a lot of my other daily bag videos. That fits in there really comfortably. And down at the bottom, I also have my Ray-Ban sunglasses with their case. And then the last item here I have laying just down towards the bottom is a small umbrella, which is always good to have during the rainy season. Now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. So I like that it opens up quite a bit to give you room to store some of those bulkier items that might not work in a slimmer sling bag. And then in the compartment, you have some nice, simple, additional organizational options for any accessories that you might want to have with you. You have some webbing on the back of the compartment, which is going to pair well with multi-tools or cables that you might not want to place into a pouch. In my case, I use this mostly for EDC accessories, so I have just the Everyman click pen here. I also placed my pocket knife. This is the Ridge pocket knife, which is really nice and minimal. And then all the way on the edge, I placed a larger Nitecore flashlight. This thing is super bright. It's a little bit larger than what I would normally carry in a pocket, but with the extra space provided by the sling bag, definitely a nice thing to have. In the compartment, you also have a lanyard with a plastic clip, which is a great spot to attach your keys, or a multi-tool. In my case, I just have my Gerber shard, which I always like to have with me. And then the last thing we have in this compartment is a simple sleeve that's going to be a good spot for something like your tablet or an e-reader. It has a little Velcro strap to keep the compartment secure and prevent anything from sliding out. And this is a very simple flap. It's not padded or anything like that. It would have been nice for this to be just slightly thicker to provide some extra protection, but it's nice that it does at least provide some separation from the rest of the items in the compartment. Currently what I have in here is my iPad mini, but you can see there's leftover space. I think you can fit probably up to a 9 or 10-inch tablet pretty comfortably. Anything larger than that I think would start to get a little tight and maybe difficult to get out of the bag when you need to, but you know, it comes up enough so if you have a thicker device or maybe a tablet with a case on it, it should be able to squeeze in here. Okay, so really like the simple layout offered in the sling bag. It gives you enough flexibility to store some larger items without becoming overwhelming, and just really love the design all throughout. I think it looks great, and if you're interested in a simple sling bag that's gonna give you enough space without becoming overwhelming, this is gonna be a solid option to check out. And so to wrap up, it's been a pretty good experience testing out the 16-liter backpack and 2-liter sling bag over the past couple of weeks. And if you want to learn a little bit more about the bags, I'll make sure to include a link to the company site in the description below. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of, as of course I mentioned a few times during the video, is the Nitecore BP18, which is a slightly larger version of this bag. Has, you know, similar to this one, a clamshell style opening, a slightly simpler organizational layout. It doesn't have quite as many pockets. I actually like the harness system on that bag a little bit more, just felt more comfortable and breathable. And that bag can also be worn as a sling bag, so it kind of combines the best of both of these bags into one package. So, you know, I would definitely recommend checking that out if you want something that, you know, is going to give you plenty of flexibility and come in a similar size. The next bag this made me think of is the 511 Rush 12, which is another really tactically styled bag. It has a lot of webbing all around, plenty of pockets, comfortable harness system, a pretty solid build quality. It also comes in at a fairly reasonable price point for the features that it offers. So if you're looking for something with a tactical vibe that's going to offer lots of organization, and that's going to be one of the best options that you can check out. Another bag this made me think of is the Metro Runner from Green Room 136, which has been one of the best smaller sling bags that I featured on the channel. That has, again, a pretty tactical vibe. You can get it with webbing on the front or without. You have some customization options. It has a really comfortable shoulder strap so you can wear it for longer periods. I like the organizational layout that it has. It doesn't have the flap style opening that this does. It's a more kind of traditional sling bag with a zipper that's very easy to access. And so if you're looking for something that, you know, is going to be kind of a tactical sling, but that's going to have a little bit more organization and be slightly more comfortable, in my opinion, that's going to be a great option to take a look at. And then the last options that I'll mention here are the DB Journey Ramverk backpacks. We recently took a look at their 26-liter backpack, which is a fantastic bag for minimal travel and everyday carry. It has a really distinct style. It's not quite tactical, but it has some straps on the front that allow you to attach larger items. You also have some great internal organization, clamshell style opening, and it's also offered in a 21-liter size, so it's going to be a little bit smaller if you don't want something quite as big. So nice versatility there. The bags look good. They feel like they're going to hold up well. And if you want something that's gonna offer some of the benefits that this bag has, but in more of a cleaner and slightly more minimal style, then that's gonna be a great option to consider as well. With that being said, the Nitecore 16-liter backpack and 2-liter sling bag hold up pretty well against those options. And if you're interested in some simple everyday carry bags that are gonna offer a nice amount of organization and space, and these are gonna be pretty solid options to take a look at. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of these bags and how they compare to some of the other great EDC backpacks and sling bags that we featured on the channel in the past. And if there are any similar options that you think I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank the company again for sending the bags for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.